So I want to talk about perfectionism and how it can hold us back, and how when we really look at it, we'll find that we're not actually as perfectionist as we like to think, right? And that can be quite eye-opening and quite freeing. Now, my own perfectionism was highlighted to me when I was running a trade union campaign. So, and it was explained like this. When it comes to getting support for a campaign, for any political thing or anything that you're running, you will always get your absolute yeses and your absolute no's. Okay? And they exist in a very short band on each side, right? Your absolute yeses and absolute no's are always outliers. They're never really the norm. What we then have in the middle is the land of, I don't know, convince me, maybe, I could sway, depending on how convincing you are, okay? So, what we often do with things, people, places, situations, tasks, projects, all of these things, is we can get into very black and white thinking, right? Now, what I was doing, this is how this came up for me. I was focusing on the yeses, the people who already supported us, and I was spending time here. That made me look good, right? Not gonna lie. It looked like I had a lot of support, but these weren't the ones that I was working for. And then I dug my heels in and I got indignant and I wasted time trying to convince these people, the absolute no's, fighting on the internet, shouting on Twitter, having tweet arguments with people that didn't. These people were never going to move. It was always going to be a no. And I ignored this part, right? Look, that bandwidth of people that we could get across here. And what I realised is that when I started speaking to these people and I started putting the message out there, and I didn't waste time on them because they're already a yes, and I didn't waste time on them because they're already a no, and I focused on here, that's where the magic happened. The magic happens in the land of ambiguity. The magic happens in the land of the unknown, right? And that's why the campaign was so successful, because we all focused on this bit and this was explained to us, right? What I also done was, at the start, before this was explained, was anyone that was in this box that started to have a wee bit of doubt, I immediately threw them in this box. Oh, they're a no then, that's it. Oh well. Even though they'd maybe only moved to about here, I chucked them in the no bin. Now, when have you ever did that in your life? When have you ever taken something that you, or expected something to be a yes? A person, a relationship, something, I don't know, a project. It has to be all yes. There can be no error. There can be nothing wrong with it. Because otherwise it goes straight in the no bin. And I don't want anything to do with it, and I'll never touch it. And it's a no. Ever, 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 never, ever, right? But people, life, places, projects, situations, mostly lives in here. So, take a relationship for example. If you're with someone and they are not 100% perfect, then do you allow them that error? Do you say, okay, well, actually, they live in here. They maybe live closer to here than they do there, but they live in here. I can accept that, that's okay. Or do you go, oh well, let's break up. It's fucked, it's ruined, no thanks. And then we throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I just want you to think about that. And what I want you to do, as a wee exercise for you, is I want you to write a list of all the things in your yes box and all the things in your no box, right? And then I want you to make a list of all the things in the middle box. The things that, if you skip a couple of jiu-jitsu classes, it's okay, right? It's not the end of the world. It doesn't go straight in the no box. Similarly, you expect things to go wrong with it, so it doesn't always go in the yes box, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to see what's in the yes box that could maybe go into the maybe box, into the land of magical things, and what's in the no box that used to be in the yes box that could go back into the in-between box, and what definitely needs to stay in the no, and what you would like to stay in the yes. Just have a look at that. What you'll find is you've got more things in the maybe box than you thought. You're not as black and white a thinker as you thought you were. You're not as perfectionist as you thought you were. And therefore, you can let go of that. You don't have to believe that anymore. And that will free you up. And if you need a hand going through these things and picking all of this apart, then why don't you send me a message and we'll set up a free coaching call and we can start working on this together. We can get you unstuck. We can get you moving. Alright? I'll speak to you soon.